This game was played in the match of the century, and that's one of the best chess games in 20th century at all. Boris Spassky won with the number of sacrifices against Band Larsen in a very cute style. You will definitely like it. Let's learn and enjoy from Spassky together because I'm going to explain all the game. My name is Pavel Martinov and welcome you to my YouTube channel, and let's start. Larsen started this game with the b3, e5, one of the main lines, right? Still bishop b2, knight c6. And by the way, you can find an opening tutorial on my YouTube channel how to play this. c4, that's not the main move. In my opening tutorial, I'm mostly dedicated to the e3, like a main line in this position, but you will definitely find out how to better play as black. I will leave the link in the comments to this video. So Larsen played c4, it's not dangerous at all. Knight goes to f6. Knight goes to f3. Our pawn on e5 is hanging. We need to copy with this somehow. And that's why e4, aggressive approach. We are moving forward in the center. Knight goes d4 looks logical, but now bishop c5. Also a very logical move. We just want to gain a tempo, right, on our opponent. And knight goes to c6. And here, we know all from childhood that it's always better to take with the pawn towards the center. But we have here a reason to go d takes c6, which is the best move, and Spassky used this, because he really wants to extremely fast pop out with the bishop on c8. That's the reason to take with that pawn. After e3, I don't like this move personally, but okay, it was played, bishop f5, queen c2, queen e7. We can say that black's position is already better, because we are about to do the castle short or the castle long, whatever we really want. All our pieces are developed, and our pawn on e4 gives us an extra space in the center. Totally better position for black, no doubts. White played bishop e2, trying to develop castle long. I really love this move. Spassky is trying to find an aggressive approach, to be honest. And here his opponent made a very significant mistake. He played in this game f4, which is very bad. Never move the f-pawn before you castle your king, right? That's what I'm always saying to you in many of my videos. And we will see how Spassky punished whites for this f4. Basically, the best way is to play knight c3 here. The most logical approach. We just want to castle long. Still this position, I can do, for example, a prophylaxis move, king b8, right? Castle long, and I don't know, whatever. I can put my rook to e8, just holding the center and still keeping the advantage. I can play h5, quite similar to what happened in the game, with the idea to extend some space and move this h-pawn. A typical strategical tool. And by the way, I have a video about this as well on my channel. So I have almost everything on my channel you can find out. Definitely browse into the playlist to know more about chess. So those types of positions are definitely better for black, obviously. Our king is more secure. This pawn is the backward. This square is weak. Imagine our knight can appear one day there. e4 pawn give us a significant advantage in space, so definitely better. Let's return back to the mistake of Larsen when he played f4. That's really weakening the king, and Spassky using this. As he really very well developed, it's a time for some aggression, especially when your opponent gives you a chance. And that's why knight goes to g4. Logical approach. I just want to play queen h4 check. That would be very, very bad. Imagine, for example, after knight c3, which looks possible, I can play still queen h4 in this position, I believe, right? g3, queen h3, and the weak side is here, right? So like after bishop f1, I can play queen h5, and still I'm holding a big advantage because all the king side is weak, right? Very tough for white to make something. So after like bishop e2, for example, I can play queen g6, then just continue with the h-pawn moving. Still I will use these weaknesses. I'm still saving all the pluses. But we have the computer, and he suggests even a stronger approach than just a human move, queen h4. We have rook takes d2. It's tough to imagine, but that really works. The idea after queen d2, bishop goes e3, queen should go back somewhere, right? And now we just can do this check. And doesn't matter you do king f1, I can play knight f3, winning the queen. But if you move up, like king goes to d2 in this position, that's still like absolutely winning. I can still play knight f3, for example, in this position, because that forces you to move out the queen. The queen has a lack of space, right? And now rook d8. Yeah, and that's like the king is cooked, to be honest, right? A computer shows us that it's like a forced checkmate. So a very nice sacrifice. So black can really expose the weaknesses of white even with some wild sacrifices, like rook d2. I need to admit that king d2 is not helpful at all, right? Because I can basically do the same. Knight f3, queen goes back, and rook goes d8, winning absolutely. This king is a very nice target. So it's a lot of great sacrifices all around the position, and white is not in time to develop, to finish the development. So Larsen played g3, which looks really like interesting for white because they blocks the queen h4 check, but it automatically creates the hook. The hook for us that Spassky used. He played h5. From the human side, I totally support this move. Like, to be honest, everything is good. Even if you will play rook to e8, this still keeps the edge, right, in this position. I think even you can sacrifice on e3, right? So even this line is possible. D takes, bishop takes. Here is better to, I believe, to sacrifice the knight, because now we hold the king in the very center and we are ready to attack. Like, for example, on knight c3, I can just play like rook d2, improving the rook position. So that would be like down position. The whites are out of development. The king's stuck on e1 completely. No chances to castle. So we are doing this way. So to be honest, like, it's possible even to sacrifice. But h5 from the human side looks really the best move. Just want to use the hook on g3. It's so essential for doing this, right? And so natural. So now, for example, in case of again knight c3, I just move h4. I already want to take on g3, and if you will try to castle, at least I have knight f2 winning the rook, one of them. So, like, in any case, it's winning position. It's just like an example line. But Larsen played h3. He tried to count on some defensive resource. The idea is that after knight f6, for example, I can play knight c3. And now in case of h4, I can lock up the position with g4. Then follow with the castle long. And that's no longer a bad position for white, because we freeze the side, the king's side. It's no attack for black at all. But that's not working. And why is this not working? Because Spassky counted on this h3 move and he prepared a very nice sacrifice. He said, okay, I'm better in development, better in king's position. I'm already started, launched my attack with knight g4. It's time to continue. No regret, no surrender. And that's why h4 in this position is absolutely insanely winning and very cute. So basically white need to capture the knight, because what to do? I really just want to take the pawn on g3 and that's it. So h takes g4 was in the game, and we took on g3 with the pawn. And now the situation is so that if like this pawn is so wild, if we will trade the rooks, for example, I can capture. I don't know, knight c3, check, bishop f1, and just g2. And I will take with the queen promotion, or I will play g1 with the queen promotion. Anyway, it's winning absolutely. So maybe Larsen saw that line, and he really counted that he can stop this wild pawn, g3 pawn, I mean, with the move rook g1. Just he really wants to like play knight c3 and so long and so on. Basically whatever winning here, even like black can just play in this position queen h4, protecting the pawn with the idea to play g2. That's also winning. But Spassky found the real brilliancy. He played rook h1 in this position. What a move! What a move! Just like forces white to take on h1. It's nothing to do either, right? And g2. And this pawn is saying goodbye for white, because it's about to be passed. So if you play rook g1 in this position, I just can play queen h4, right? Queen h4 check, king goes d1, and queen h1, a very cute tactics. And that's like a checkmate how you play. Takes, here with the checkmate on the board. So that's the tactical idea. That looks very cute. Black is really ready to sacrifice everything on that board. But let's take a look what happened else in the game. So white played rook, after g2, white played rook f1, trying to say tag back this rook please, but just move out this pawn. But after queen h4, Larsen resigned after 16 moves of that game. A very short miniature. And why he resigned is basically obvious. If rook goes to f2 now, then g1 queen, right? with the soon checkmate, nothing to do. If king goes to d1, then it's very easy. I can take on f1, take on f1, and take on g4. Whatever you do on bishop e2 in this position, I have queen h1 with the checkmate, and on king c1, we have queen e1 check, queen d1 is necessary, queen takes d1, checkmate. Brilliant game. Really enjoying this game each time I'm reviewing this, and I hope that you enjoyed that. I tried to unlock the all ideas in this game basically for you. Really hope you like this. Don't forget please to press like to this video, to hit subscribe, and to type your comment. What do you think about this game generally? And I will see you soon on my new episodes. Goodbye.